So my name is Joy Azad. I'm primary teaching and learning consultant at Brighton and Hove City Council, and I also have strategic lead for literacy across the city. Initially, why we were interested in power reading was actually a colleague of mine had taken over the commissioning of this approach, and I was kind of late to the party, so to speak. But actually, right from the onset, I absolutely loved the principle around using a high quality text to engage pupils in their writing. And so that's what I've seen as schools have kind of been trained in this approach, and seen the impact that it's had with not only the pupils and pupil outcome, their enjoyment, their pleasure, reading and writing, being inspired to write, but also the impact it's had on teachers that have been trained. They've become more confident in their teaching of writing, and they've been re-energised and really enjoy teaching writing through these high quality texts. In my role as local authority writing moderator, what I've seen as a result of power reading is that the engagement that pupils have in their writing has led to them being more inspired to write, and actually the quality of writing has been a lot higher than it might have been previously. And so seeing that has encouraged us as a local authority to continue with this as an offer to schools to engage in this approach for power reading. I've also noticed that teachers are really confident now in teaching English. There's been a huge amount of consistency across the schools. So when I visit schools that are engaged in power reading, you can see walking around school and displays, but also in children's books, but also the language that pupils are using around English and writing and reading. They kind of have that book language that wasn't maybe there quite so strong before. So part of the training that I feel has had the biggest impact on teachers, and therefore an impact on the outcomes for pupils' writing, has been around having that high quality training from CLPE and having the online resources to really support teachers. I think initially when teachers come to day one, there's an element of apprehension, they're a little bit scared. Sometimes they're reluctant to try something new and they've got plans in place. But actually having those resources online, having the teacher sequences available to them, but also having the resources already there for them so they don't have to kind of search for things, really has had a huge impact on teachers' practice. But also we've benefited from having an associate school in our local authority, which has just been really powerful. Teachers have been able to come along and see what power reading looks like in action. They've been able to talk to teachers, look in books, look at plans, and seen the evidence. And so that's been really useful, having that kind of opportunity for our local schools in our local authority. If schools are out there that are considering power reading, then I would say if you want greater consistency across your school in the approach to teaching reading and writing, if you want to re-energise the teaching learning of reading and writing in your school, then I would absolutely say explore this approach. If you are able to, go and visit a school that's already on their power reading journey and see for yourself. What I've noted and what teachers have shared with me, and looking at writing as a result of Key Stage 2 writing moderation, schools have found that prior to engaging with power reading, children were maybe a bit more reluctant to write, and they would hug quite closely to the model text, whereas afterwards they would be really inspired by the drama activities, the art activities, and would feel more confident in wanting to start writing, but also their choice of vocabulary was of a higher level, and that was really apparent in what teachers were saying, what I've seen as a writing moderator.